Julie, too, besides the coziness and the comfort of a cafe, and a fireplace, I understand there's a lot of convenience features making it easier to use the library. Can you elaborate on some of those?
We have 3 major features that I'll talk about today. The first is a drive-up window. And that is new to libraries. There's only a few libraries in the Michigan area that have a drive-up window service. And what that allows people to do is call ahead if they have a book that they're wanting to pick up from the library. They call ahead and they have that book sent to the drive-up window area of the library. That then gives them the opportunity to just drive up and pick up that material with their library card. So real fast, convenient service. Patrons can also drive up and pay fines at the same time.
Wonderful.
Instead of
Right.
having them, someone might have children, someone might have difficulty getting into the building, so they have that opportunity to take advantage of those 2 services at the drive-up window. Also attached to the drive-up window are book returns, and this is a change from the current building. You have to get out of your car, physically walk up to the building and drop off your materials right now. And what we have instituted now is the drive-up of return of materials. So you just pull up, feed your books into the drop-off boxes and make your returns. Much easier, much simpler. You think about cold weather, you think about, again, children in your car, maybe someone sleeping or someone has difficulty getting out of the car. And these are 2 opportunities for people for convenience. And that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to think about time savings. We wanted to think about convenience for our patrons and really encouraging them and giving them opportunities for using the library in many ways. The third is called after-hours lockers. And these are really unique too. Another feature that not many libraries have yet, but that we've brought to Novi, is the opportunity for you, again, to call ahead. If you have a book that's on hold and you think you're not going to make it to the library when the library is open, you can call ahead and have materials placed in a locker at the front of the building. And then we'll give you a code and you can come by at the library and punch in your code and actually take out the materials and go home.
So even when the library's closed, you can still get your materials.
Absolutely. Trying to be as convenient again and as available to our patrons 24/7. Our website is always on, and we're trying to make services as much as possible available to our patrons as well.
Wow. So basically, I could put a book on hold from home just using the website. I could pick up the book in my fuzzy slippers, never get out of the car, and never have to step foot in the library and enjoy the services.
Correct. You set the reserve on the computer. You call and let us know where you want to pick up that material. So if you don't want to come into the building to pick up, because many people do. We encourage people to come in all the time and see this new building and spend time with us. But if you're not in that, if you're not in that position to do that, you can go ahead and call us ahead of time and arrange for us to have it available to you for just a quick pickup at the window. Yes.
Well, yeah, I could get used to the comfort and convenience. Well, that's great. Thanks for updating us today. But I do have one last question for you. Now, the construction process obviously is long. We're still looking for a June start date. Correct. But anywhere between now and June, will the library be closed to patrons?
We will have a closure in April and May at this point. The library board and I have looked at dates, and we have finalized the month of April and May, excuse me, as closures. And the purpose for that is we have to make that move from the old building to the new building. We have over 140,000 volumes that have to be moved over to the new building. Plus we have new technology, obviously, that we're putting in. And I know you're going to be talking to Barb today, and she's going to share some of that with you. But lots of new technology, lots of new services, lots of new training that has to be done with the staff before we open. And I want to be sure, I know you don't use the word perfect very often, but I want to make sure that the opening to this new building is as seamless as possible and that the patrons enjoy it right from the get-go, right from the day we open those doors. And so we want to be sure that we're ready for everyone when they come in and we can meet all of their needs. And that's why we want to take that time up front to do some of that closure. We're going to be making sure that we communicate that a lot in the next few months over January and February and March to patrons to let them know that process of being closed and how will they be affected with where am I going to get my library materials at that time, and where will I be able to go. And we have made connections with our local libraries, Wixom and South Lyon and Northville and Farmington. They're all going to be available to us and our Novi patrons while we're closed. So we're already making those plans, and we will be sure to continue to communicate that to the public as we get closer. But I ask for patrons for their patience for those 2 months. I know it seems like a lot, but the truth is we've been very fortunate with not having to be closed all during this whole building project, and to be closed just those few, 6 to 8 weeks is definitely going to be worth it for when we have that big grand opening in June.
Sounds great. Well, thanks again, Julie.
You
we
are
appreciate
so
you being
welcome.
with us today.
Thank
This
you
is an
for your
exciting
time.
project, and we're so glad to be a part of it. So stay tuned as we continue beyond books and we continue focusing on the new library and the technology used to support it. Thanks.